Because she did a previous one.
Yeah.
And there is another one that she's doing.
Oh, that's the kids one though, isn't it?
No?
No, they had it out for, it was, a lot of the parents came along, it was open to people in the village as well who attended.
Yeah.
Okay, well if we...
But we're all DBS checked, so it wouldn't matter if there were kids there anyway.
So we'll... Okay, well I will go back and ask. If you can go back and ask, we'll also ask Jane as well, and then see if anyone else has got any contact about it.
What about the chap, the first response chap at Francis' house?
I think
That's Dean.
that's who you want to talk to.
Yeah, I spoke to him and his mate do them. His mate does it as a job on the side, but he said they would do something, but I haven't done.
That's who David's going to try and chase up.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look at a number of different sources for that, and we'll come back. Then we have the issue that came up last time. We were talking about doing village maintenance issues. We've got Jason within his contract has already got flailing of the hedge down Crooked Lane, but he doesn't currently have the flailing of the hedge along Station Road, the South Brent Close bit. We've had it done in the past a couple of times, I think, now over the years, and it's got to the point where it's out over the verge, and that was covered. So we've got an estimate through Jason for getting that done, which was £70. Our members happy that we get on and get that sorted and okay. All those in favour, please show. The other thing I was going to ask was, would you also be happy that we get Jason just to quote as to what it would be to build that in, rather like the Crooked Lane one, that we build it into his regular cutting rather than, so it would be once, maybe, I guess we'd be looking every other year rather than annually. But ask him to see what that would be to build it into the contract as to a regular cut, because hopefully it might be less if he's doing it as part of the contract, but we'll go ahead with 70, and then we'll look to get the other quote back. That's it on matters of consideration. So matters of report, if we start with Aid's side of the table. Anything, Aid?
No.
Good. Jane? John?
No.
Melina?
Air Ambulance, you had a letter from them.
I have. And January will be the month that we consider this.
Yeah.
We've had two actually. One from, I think they've got two elements to the organisation. I think one is for younger people. I seem to recall. I'll have a look at it. I've had two from them anyway.
Okay.
And we've had another one as well. So we've had about 3 requests for grants so far. So look at that in January.
Andy?
A number of residents from Church Lane wanted to thank the actions of yourself, Colin, Amanda and David for their prompt action yesterday, which saved them time and a lot of money. Thank you. Thanks.
Amanda?
We're having this Christmas tree festival this week, which I never mentioned before. I know we're not going to have faces now, but are people happy to put their name on it? Or like Colin said that he was going to say about maybe.
Shall I?
Yeah.
My suggestion was that each councillor sponsors a thing on the tree and puts in either £5 or £10 into the fund, so that the tree actually makes some money that Amanda's giving up her time to decorate, and then it goes to the church funds.
No, we're going to bring it back and put it into the parish council.
You
don't.
No, it goes to the church.
No, you don't have to feel obliged to do it. It's just that I've been asked by the church to do. We've just been asked to do the parish council tree, and it's this weekend.
So basically, just to confirm,
need to.
Does anyone have a problem with their name, sort of Councillor Fred Bloggs,
Is everyone happy
being
to
put on a bauble that will be on a tree, which will be up in the church? Anyone object to their name being on a bauble? No? Okay, that's good.
Can you
And
make sure
obviously, in terms of donations, if anyone wants to make donations, that's fine.
then that's
up
it.
to them.
Yeah. Okay.
David?
were we going to mention about earlier today?
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you can.
No, I'll leave it to you, it's fine.
Oh, brilliant. Me and Bob went up to the church today because they've been having the flooding issues, and it's a sort of combined issue with the footpath, which we've historically maintained many, many years ago. And me and Bob are really looking for some authority, I suppose, to go and contact some people, because I think we've got to ultimately spend some money to make the footpath right and stop the church and the houses up there flooding. What do you want to say, Bob?
No, I mean, basically, as David said, what's tending to happen is there is a flow of water coming down the footpath that heads from Mike Diamond's field down to the back of the church. It's gouged it out an awful lot. It's very uneven. It's now very difficult to walk it. It's then sort of turned left at the bottom and gone down the church, the path behind the church, and again that's now being gouged quite badly. I think to solve it, we're going to have to do something with the surface again, and probably put some sort of gully down the side so we can at least control the water rather than it just finding its own route and causing problems down Church Lane and through the church. So what we'd like to do is be able to start talking to a couple of contractors to find out what this is going to cost and what we can possibly do, and then we'll bring that back to the council. There are a couple of quick wins that could be done relatively cheaply anyway, with just slightly diverting the water further up the hill. Following the last meeting, we were told we could talk to the landowners, which we did, and the landowner on the neighbouring land was gracious enough to say they were prepared to see some of the water diverted across their land, which wasn't going to cause them an issue. So at least it then breaks the flow, because at the moment it's just concentrating itself down what was the footpath and then shooting through the churchyard and into the back of people's properties. One of the properties that was flooded is the one that backs onto that section. So what we were looking for, as I say, is to allow us to get some quotes in from a contractor. I think some of it can be done by working party, but some of it is going to need a bit of kit rather than us.
Yeah, I was just going to say that when you said about cutting a channel, that, you know, with the top where that pipe comes out, where the concrete steps are, like going back like 20, 30 years, that was a proper ditch.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, if that was cut out properly, it wouldn't go over the footpath, it would come out of the pipe where it is and into its designated channel.
We looked at that.
Yeah, I know, I'm just telling the rest of the room.
I remember John Harper criticised the guy that cut the channels from the path into the ditch, so load of rubbish, because it's overgrown now, and he was quite right.
Yeah.
It needs to be substantial channels cut to divert it into that
and
ditch.
And if all that rubbish was cut out of the channel and the channel was carved out, the footpath is not going to be washed away, because it will go where it's meant to be, and then, like you said, diverting it where it's on the other side.
Is it worth getting obviously a quote in then from a builder or something, and then working out how much it would cost us as well? Because David and myself, we drive little 360s, we can hire a little one, take it up the track and use that. That'd be a better way, and they're only got £50 a day or something like that, and they tie then.
Yeah. I think
So,
it's be a joined up.
I don't mind doing it with David.
I think it's got to be a community thing. It's not just down to us as a council. But I think we just feel that the things that are going on at the moment, no one is getting a grip of what's happening. At least if we can get a plan together and bring it back to the council before we take any costs. But
I think to get a plan is exactly what you need to do first, and then go to or talk to someone that will advise on water distribution or whatever.
okay, so the members happy that we continue with those conversations and bring something back to the council.
Yeah.
Anything else, David?
No.
No.
Just really the 20th of December will be a definite provisional meeting.
No.
Who is next on green duty?
Thank you all very much for attending. As this is obviously our last full council before Christmas, we will be having there are some drinks and nibblies over the side which I might need some help taking them out. Thank you all very much, and we'll